Hi guys, this is Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge, and today we're going to take a look at the Enlan EL-01. This is a good big folder, a little over 4 inches for the blade, great big comfortable G10 scales, really grippy, good handle. I think this is a pretty good knife. It's not a great knife, but we'll take a look at the pros and the cons after I give you a few more stats. The metal in this knife is 18, let's get that glare off of there so you can read that, 18 CR13 MOV. That's a decent knife, metal, for a budget blade, a high value blade at a low price, it's not bad. The liners are stainless steel and G10 scales. The scales come in orange, black, I've seen cream colored on some sites, and now they've got wood as well. You'll be able to find the EL-01A and an EL-01B if you search for that. So they've got newer editions of this knife. I don't know if that's just the color changes or if there's actually some changes to the knife. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy another one of these to find out. So, like I said, the blade is roughly 4 inches long. The handle's about 4.5, almost 5 inches long. Good grip. The blade is about 4 millimeters thick. That's about 1/8 of an inch. It's got a nice drop point, and there's a cosmetic cutout there. Maybe it loses a tiny bit of weight. Yeah, it looks kind of sharp. I kind of like the looks of that. It's a the liner has round cutouts, so you can sort of see that. Well, if my hand's out of the way, you can sort of see. There we go. At that angle, the light's hitting it. You can see there's round cutouts, 4 on each side. That saves some weight. Open pillar construction makes it easy to clean. It's got a clip that's one side only, so it's right side, tip up carry, not a very deep carry. A good lanyard hole. It's a flipper style blade with no other helpers. There's no thumb stud, there's no hole, there's just the flipper. The thing is, it's got nylon washers, so it's hard to flip open. So I usually give it a little bit of wrist action, and then between the flip and the wrist action, it opens really well. I've already added oil. I've already played with it about 150 times back and forth to make sure it's nice and smooth as I think it's going to get. I'm sure it'll wear a little bit more, but it just doesn't want to flip all that well. That's one of the negatives. Let's talk about some more of the positives first. I really like the look of this blade. Just look at it. It's a really good looking blade. In my perspective anyways. When it's locked, it's got a really strong hold, no wiggle side to side, up and down. It really holds the blade really well. The clip works well in the pants pocket. Get it in there, it holds, pulls out nice. The knife edge doesn't come anywhere near the lanyard hole, so it's not going to nick on your lanyard. If you're just holding the knife closed in your fist, it's big enough to be a little bit of a persuader, non-lethal force. There's some good pluses about this knife. How about some of the cons? I'm a lefty. In the right hand, there's no hot spots whatsoever. In the left hand, there's hot spots right here. For my index finger right on the edge of this lanyard. My finger comes and it sort of hits on the edge of it, and and causes a pretty significant hot spot there. This knife will not work in my left hand. Somebody with a smaller hand, it might work well, but somebody with a smaller hand wouldn't want this large knife. It would just start to overwhelm their hand. For most men's gloves, I'm a large, so that tells you a little bit about the size of my hand. Some more of the cons. There's no jimping on the blade on this little riser for the thumb. I would like this to be a little bit larger and with jimping on it, because there's great jimping on the rest of the knife. Here for the thumb, for the palm, for the fingers, front and back, you know, on the liner release. There's really good jimping everywhere else, but none there on that little riser. And that'd be perfect spot to put some jimping. Would have been easy. They didn't do it. I would have liked the little sharpening choil there on the tip of the blade, on the end of the blade, I mean, not the tip. You don't put a choil on the tip, silly boy. Right there, that'd be nice, because I foresee that there's going to be some, that end is going to get ugly after a while from sharpening, because it won't come to the same end point every single time when I run my file across there on my sharpening system. Okay, what else? I mentioned that the flipper is hard to make it flip all the way just using a nice quick finger. I can get it the odd time. A little bit of wrist action makes it go. I would like if it had bronze washers in there. I'm sure that it would flip open completely just using the fingers, just on the flipper. Another problem that I found is that these liners were really sharp to the touch. The edges of the milling that they did on the liners was done very poorly. They didn't clean it up afterwards. So I took my my Lansky file system, the field one, because I've got a nice narrow diamond rod here, and I just went along and I, just gave a nice little rub along those sharp corners, just to knock them down. Even on the flipper itself, it just knocked down the edge that tiny little bit that it no longer catches at all on my skin. So it's really good that way. Now that I've adjusted it, but if you don't have a tool to adjust it, maybe you can use some sandpaper. So there's a con there. This cosmetic feature that I liked on the spine of the blade, it looks really good there, doesn't it? But on the other side, it looks terrible if I get the light to hit this just right. See those marks? Oh, those machine marks were there. And that's going to be fun trying to get those machine marks off. I saw another video on this knife from 2013 where the reviewer complained of the exact same thing. So either this knife is from really old stock that's been sitting around, or that's a problem they just haven't addressed. I don't know. There was also tarnish on the blade when I got it, and but that cleaned up with some nice oil and a little bit of a scouring pad, a non-metallic scouring pad, and cleaned that all up. So that's another sign. I think this blade was sitting around for a while. That and the fact that there is now, I'm not sure if I mentioned it already, an EL-01A and an EL-01B model available. Those are the negatives and the positives, the pros and the cons of this blade. I am planning on buying some brass washers and fit it in there. This is a high value budget blade, less than $20 Canadian, less than $15 US that you can find one of these EL-01s for. So it's worth it to take it apart and try it. Hopefully it won't throw everything off, and if it does, I'll put the nylon washers back in. Would I recommend this knife? With reservations. If you really love how it looks, yes. If you've got a big hand, yes. If you're have a small hand, or you've got small ladies' hands, no, I don't recommend this knife. If you have the wherewithal to make the adjustments that I spoke about, especially the filing down the edges, then yes. I would like to get this knife myself in the wood option, if I can find it nice and cheap, even cheaper than what I can find it for right now. Right now, that's the most expensive one. That makes sense. I'm going to put the prices and the descriptions of where you can buy this knife in Canada and the US. In the US, you can get it at Amazon.com for a decent price, and you can get it quickly that way. For Canadians, since Amazon.com will not ship knives across the border to Canada, we've got to go with places like GearBest or Fast Tech or Slow Tech. Yeah, Fast Tech. And get our knives that way. So, but that's all going to be in the description below. So, what do you think of this knife? Any of you guys have one? Put your comments below. Let me know what you think of it. Let you know what you think of my review, if I'm all wet or if I'm just not covering things that you want to hear about. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe to my channel, please. That'll help get more people on. Share with your friends. Once I get 50 subscribers, I'm going to give away a knife. So that's a giveaway. I'm not making a separate video about the giveaway. You have to watch to the end of these videos to find that it exists. So hopefully that'll get more people to ask your friends. Tell them to watch right to the end so they can be part of the this giveaway. Anybody who subscribes who's not my immediate family can win this. Well, not this. Win a brand new knife from me, and I'll get it to either drop shipped or I'll mail it directly myself, one way or the other. So hopefully you've liked this knife. Remember, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb. Have a good day. Bye now.